Hello everyone, welcome to another video. I hope you're all well. So I want to start this video by saying that I am no journaling expert. I've not journaled for years and years. However, I do think I can appreciate the benefits of journaling, and in this video I want to share with you what I think those benefits are, what are some of the best ways of journaling, and also how I'm going to implement journaling into my day-to-day routine. So my first journaling experience actually came in primary school when I was only about 10 years old, and we were asked to journal for 2 weeks of our summer holidays. And I wasn't really relishing having to do work in my summer holidays, but as a good boy, a 10-year-old boy, I took it seriously, and I chose to journal about a 2-week holiday to France that we took as a family. And I wrote about what we did, and I drew pictures, and that holiday is actually one of the holidays I remember most vividly from my childhood, and I think I have a lot to thank the journaling practice that I took on during that time. So my next journaling experience came when I was 21, and I went travelling with my friends to Australia for 6 months, and I had every intention of keeping a journal. I wanted to keep these memories forever. I did keep a journal, but if there was an award for the most boring journal ever, I'd probably win with that journal. Not that we weren't doing really fun and interesting things during our days, because we were. It was awesome. But for some reason I only chose to write about what time I got up in the morning and what we were eating during the day. So a typical journal entry would read something like this. Woke up at 8 AM, had 6 Weetabix with milk, ate 3 sandwiches for lunch, cheese, cooked sweet chili and tuna pasta for dinner. So yeah, some real groundbreaking stuff in that journal, some real deep insights into my soul. Maybe one day, when I'm long gone, someone will find that journal and it'll be published and be a huge bestseller. You never know. So that brings us to the present day, and I do have a journal. However, my journaling is a very inconsistent practice, and it's very unstructured as well. Now, I don't have a real problem with the fact that it's unstructured. I think a journal can contain anything that the person who's writing it wants it to. It can be as random as you want it to. And my journaling sort of contains all sorts. Sometimes I'll just write whatever's on my mind. Other times I'll write quite specific goals or to-do lists. The problem I do have is that it's very inconsistent, so I don't think I'm really getting the full benefits out of journaling, which is why I'm partly making this video, as I want to hold myself accountable and make a journal every day from now on. So I've got 5 reasons why I think journaling is beneficial. Starting with number 1, it helps you organize your thoughts. Now, do you ever have that feeling where you've got like a million thoughts inside your head all swimming around, but you're unable to concentrate on any of them? Because you might start thinking about one thing, and then before you know it, another thought has come into your head. That's a feeling that I get all the time, and I get quite a lot of relief from sitting down and writing about a particular thought. And the reason why that's so beneficial is because writing something down just forces you to think about that one particular thing, rather than being overwhelmed by hundreds of different thoughts that are in your head. I suppose the way I'd describe how writing my thoughts down makes me feel is that it gives me clarity. And I think we're all in search of clarity in some way. We want to understand ourselves, our thoughts, our passions, our purpose. Number 2, it helps us understand our emotions. So this is kind of linked back to that whole clarity argument. You might be experiencing particular emotions and not understand why or where those emotions are coming from. So spending some time writing about that emotion can help you find kind of the solution, and might give you some answers as to where that emotion's coming from and what you can do about it. So let me give you an example from my life. So this last year has been quite a tricky year for me. And there's been periods where I've felt quite anxious, and sometimes it's there are obvious reasons why I've been anxious. Maybe I'm waiting for a test result, or I've got a surgery coming up or something like that. Other times it's been a bit difficult to identify exactly where these anxieties are coming from. So if I just spent a little bit of time writing them down, it would kind of give me that clarity. And once that problem's down on the paper, quite often I found that those anxieties kind of went away a bit. Number 3, it allows you to zoom out and see your life's progression. I think a very common feeling in people's lives these days, particularly because of things like social media, where you're looking at other people's lives and you feel like they're all achieving huge things. I think one of the common feelings is that you're not progressing with your own life and you're not achieving as much as you should be. And I think part of the reason is because it's very difficult to see your day-to-day progression when you're just living inside your own head, your own thoughts. Whereas if you write things down, you write goals down, you write what you achieve on a daily, monthly, yearly basis, then it gives you a great zoomed out view of the progression you are making in your life. And I think that's quite important, to be honest with you. Number 4, it provides true self-help. I've heard journaling described as the best self-help book there is because it literally is self-help. You're writing about yourself, for yourself and only yourself, and it allows you to have a nice private place for your deepest thoughts and emotions, and therefore it's almost like a therapy. And number 5, it creates self-discipline. So it's probably quite obvious that I think journaling is really good for your mental health, and any practice that you take on that benefits your mental health or even your physical health, something like going for a walk every day, you're going to have self-discipline to stick to that. Journaling is the same. It's not necessarily going to come easily to everyone, having to sit down and write for a period of time during the day. So if you manage to stick to it, it's creating that self-discipline. So I've done quite a lot of research into how other people journal to try and find out the best way to keep a journal. And what's obvious from that research is that everyone journals differently. People like to have different methods of journaling and write different things down. So some people like to use it as just a place to write anything that's on their mind, whether that be for like 10 minutes, half an hour. And then other people like to use it as a goal tracker or a habit tracker, or even a place to just express some gratitude for things. Some people like to write long prose, other people like to just do bullet points. Some people like to make it almost like an artistic project, so they'll use different colours, different pens, different sticky notes and things like that. So it's almost like a creative outlet for those people as well. So what's obvious to me is there's no correct way of writing a journal. Journaling is all about experimenting, finding out what works best for you, and importantly, finding a way that you're going to be able to write a journal consistently. There's no point in setting yourself an unachievable goal when it comes to journaling. For example, if I said to myself, I want to sit down and write for an hour every morning about how I'm feeling and my emotions, it's just not something I'd be able to keep up. So yeah, it's all about getting that balance and finding what benefits you the most. So from doing all that research about how other people journal and my previous experience from journaling, I've devised my own structure for how I want to go forward with this practice. And I'm going to write my journal in the morning and in the evening. So I'm going to start in the morning by writing 3 things that I'm grateful for, and those things are going to be really simple, and I'm probably going to repeat myself a lot over the days. And then I'm going to spend 10 minutes writing, and that 10 minutes is going to be writing whatever I feel really. So it might be some thoughts that I need to get out on the page, or maybe I have a problem that needs solving, so I'll spend some time defining that problem and then writing everything out that I can think of about that problem, and then hopefully that will lead me to some solutions. But if I'm really struggling for things to write about in that 10 minutes, then I'm going to have a series of journal prompt questions as well that are going to get me thinking and hopefully writing. Just things like, what do you see yourself, or where do you see yourself in 5 years' time, or what are you most proud of? So I'm going to pick up my journal again in the evening, and I'm going to start by writing just one thing that I'm grateful for before bed, because I think that's a good way of kind of bookmarking your day, is thinking about gratitude. And then I will write a little review of the day. It's going to be as short or as long as I want it to be. Just did I achieve my goals? How did I feel the day went? Things like that. And then I'll also do a short plan of the things I want to do the next day. And as well as those daily entries, I want to do a weekly review. So I'll just, spend a bit of time on a Sunday writing about how the week's gone. Did I achieve what I wanted to? How have I felt during the week? Things like that. And I'm also going to do a monthly review as well. So at the end of the month, I'll do a similar thing and write about, how the month has gone. It's just a good way of seeing progression from month to month or week to week. And that's it really, nothing particularly complicated, won't take very long. It's something that I want to keep up every day, get that consistency going, and I'll let you know how I get on, and I'll report back to you what I've learned and what I've changed, because I imagine there'll be some things that I probably change or take away or add into my journal structure, so I'll let you know. Anyway, thank you very much for joining me with this video. I hope you liked the video. If you did, hit the like button. And if you're new here and you don't subscribe already, subscribe to my channel, hit the notification bell, all that good stuff, and I'll catch you in another video.